scale is very, very limited as well. It feels like you have to have the perfect early game rotations. You just have to be on point with all your movements. And if you're not, then the hero you're not really hit from like we've seen with some crazy Exalt builds and plays as well on the Invoker. So
the only time I like it is against Storm Spirit, just because he doesn't have mobility in those early stages. And you want to be able to land like a lot of EMPs and just really gimp his farming potential. But other than that, I'm really not seeing it. You see the rotation coming through with the Watch Vision. Yeah, I'm expecting 4-0-4. I'm not sure what he's going to go after that, if it's going to be like one value point in the Wex or just even leaning further into the Exort.
Well, he does have Urn queued up, so I mean, Urns, as we see, is pretty much predominantly built with Cross Wex.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see.
Nah, you don't even need it. Like, you just, like, Cold Snap plus Urn is plenty.
Yeah, but Urn, you want to fight, and if you go Exort, you kind of just want to play around your tower. You don't really want to rotate.
I think it's still generally okay to go it. Like, you are eventually going to be making those rotations, but he's probably going to get into like this Bracer first, and maybe even the Boots first.
Dead?
Probably.
It's
Might be
Flame Break to
TZY
get
that's
at
dead
least
too.
out of the body box. Who gets first blood will be iG.Vitality. They will strike back instantly, but unfortunately, a couple of seconds too late to be able to get that bounty gold. So a good start for iG.V. They're also going to be able to get the D ward as well.
All right. Not looking too bad for them then. I mean, it goes over to the Lich, right? That really doesn't change too much about this lane, I wouldn't think. Ukyo is actually in a little bit of trouble here. He's got Attribute Shift skilled up, but has to be very careful. I want to see as well, like, what CSJ's opinion is of the Batrider changes. Like, how heavily is he going to invest into the Flame Break? Is it just going to keep it at 1 point? I mean, that's what part of what was enabling his survival, at least for a couple of seconds, but really feels like this one value point isn't really that worth it anymore.
We casted 2 Batrider games yesterday, right? Where they all max sticky. And then I was watching Dream League, and at least the Batrider games that I saw at Dream League, there was one that Solo played where he played 5. That pause 5 and still max 5 play with Flame Break. I think there was even maybe a call that still maxed out the W and E over sticky. So seems like there's a bit of a different read over in the opposite side of the world.
I mean, that's what we love to see, right? We love to see different interpretations of it all. I agree. I think you only want to start getting points into the sticky at like level 4. I think before that, you're kind of just griefing your lane, especially against someone like the Lich. Like, he is someone that wants to be spamming out that Frost Blast, one of the most mana-effective damage spells early on in the game. So, you just don't want to enable him to do that a lot more. I think it's not great to give Morphling like a farm fest lane, but you just want to enable the Batrider to get off to a decent start. And I feel like that's really what they're going to be playing around.
Nicely done from Haro. Gets a solo kill. I think TZY may have been in range for experience, but Haro pretty much did all the damage onto the Crystal Maiden. So already a much better start for him. Got involved with the first blood, gets the D ward. A kill to add to his name. And this is also the big thing about the Shadow Demon being with the Beastmasters. You just really free up to make stacks. You just, if TZY has a bad lane, he can always fall back on those ancient stacks.
Early point into Wex on Cicada. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe he's just trying to see, like, he's waiting to see the blink usage. I don't think he's had to use it just yet on Butterfly Effect, but if he doesn't see a Scream of Pain, he's probably going to assume that it's coming. But as soon as that blinks on cooldown, expect for that Cold Snap plus EMP Tornado to be able to come through. This is the plus side of playing Invoker into the Quap, right? Shadow Strike, it's good for Quap sustain, but so is just keeping a bunch of Quas Orbs on yourself.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I like he's got a bunch of stats as well, Cicada. Just the Bracer and the Wand helps a lot with your damage issue. I mean, still Butterfly Effect is doing very well in regards to the last hits. Said every time this guy is still very, very gifted mechanically, but is not currently showing in regards to the win-loss. So at least he's off to a good start, and all the lanes are off to a good start as well. This is not the time we saw TZY with the Magnus. He's not down at the bottom here. Instead, he's actually towards the top.
Did you see that that glyph as well? They glyphed for the tornado in the mid lane, just making sure that Cicada doesn't get any range creeps for free. Butterfly Effect wants to continue having a really good time in this lane. I mean, Quap obviously it's not as bad as it used to be, but you are still very much a snowball-ish hero. You know, if you get off to a good start, you get into that early Aghanim Scepter, you could just completely take over a game.
Yeah, it's not as bad, right? Because that scepter enables you to scale. But if you get it at such a faster timing, then bottom lane TZY, did he run under tower? Takes a lot of damage. Still with the banishment's going to give him some space. Enables Sahara to get a little bit more stacks out of the poison. Desire will not have the damage. There's a 1-for-1. God King's alive for the kill, but I think you'll probably take that on die, considering you continue to slow down the Alchemist.
For sure. Was very deep though. How the hell is he that deep underneath the tower? I mean, most of the damage that he should be dishing out is the wild axes. So, well, just getting a little bit too big for his britches, perhaps. Maybe if he, seen another dive here up on the top side.
Oh, can he stay alive? No, he will not get the kill. For the exchange, Earth Spirit has a Selv now to play with. CSJ is able to get rewarded as well. He's still struggling too. Ukyo 23 and 18. So yeah, all the cores on Dire having a great time, even though the kills are even.
I mean, look at this Butterfly Effect. He's even getting bottle refills in the mid lane. Not like he's having a difficult time. Invoker falling a fair ways behind. 12 and 3 versus the 29 and 13 from Butterfly Effect's Queen of Pain. You have to remember that it was Cicada that I believe got the kill, right? Like the second kill of the game. So that's really what's the only thing that's keeping him kind of within arm's reach of net worth. I gotta say, I don't necessarily agree with this Quaswex build that he's going for. Like, he's gone the Urn, but I mean, maybe if you can make a rotation through on the Earth Spirit, which looks like he is starting to make that movement through, but Ponyo had just recently placed down an Observer, so it's going to scout out a lot of this move, and he's even going to be able to guess wrong. So Shield Rune, I mean, a lot of these rotations, they're going to be highly ineffective just off the back of this. It gives way too much armor.
Bottom? Ponyo's actually going to try and step in and provide some assistance, and that might help them get the kill into Desire. Poison starting to stack up as well. iG.Vitality with the +1. Everybody get the kill. Continuing to slow down the early game that God King is wanting to repeat from his prior performance on the Medusa.
He's finally starting to, like, come into his own shortly, although he's getting dived underneath this tower. Maybe not. Rotation's having to come in, but I'm not sure if they're going to be enough.
It might be even too late. King turns, chucks out the concoction. Another round of spells required to get the kill. TZY, there we go. Axes, they're on the mark, but they might get all of them. Ponyo's going to be chased down. Desire's got another round of the spells for TZY. They're going to be able to use them in combination together. Root sets up for the roll. TZY, though, big stick to work with. A lot of health
Axis
back close to the tower. He's going to turn. Axis gets the kill. TZY shrugs off the damage. Desire, he won't even be able to get Ponyo. Are you serious? Desire might die now. Axis is back up. Another round of them. And another kill.
I mean, TZY is getting away with murder here. That time around, I can understand him going for those super deep dives because he had the Vanguard. He could tank up a couple of tower hits without just completely ruining his HP. And I mean, the important thing, of course, is still that God King yet to reach up to that level 6, but now you've got even more kill threat. You've got that that Primal Roar available for TZY.
Imagine if you had Sunstrike.
Imagine if he had Sunstrike.
CSJ might be in a little bit of danger as well if Ponyo can get the slow. In fact, he'll start with the gaze. Going to be rolled to the rescue, but it is too late. Another death. Cicada's even going to try and rotate as well, but it'll be too late. Yeah.
Scouted out by another Observer Ward. I mean, you really don't want to be the one making moves.
God King is in danger. They've already used the Roar. TP is heavily forced out. 5 stacks though, and dude, Hara is balling. 4-1 and 3, already level 6. He will go down. Dude, this banishment's proving to be a real big issue for them, but the Nova from afar. to be able to secure the kill. So a little bit of golden experience, very, very needed. Earth Spirit level 3. Happy with that, but God King is not. This is not the same game that we saw in game 1.
No, and I think part of it is just they're putting a lot more attention on like forcing him to be kicked out of this lane. They're just defending this tower with all that they can just because they don't want to lose that double small camp, right? You could just see like there's a Kobold camp underneath the Radiant Tier 1 tower. Alchemist loves that. You know, Greevil's Greed, he's probably the only hero in the game that's happy to see that camp in the entire hero roster.
Yikes. 71% already?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the start. Not the start you're hoping for at all.
Oh, Cicada.
He's just going to get dived. They might not even get to the tower. Butterfly effect. No ultimate, though, to work with. Tornado's going to be able to disrupt them. But you are sending Cicada all the way back to base. Maybe not with the cold. Sorry, with the Kos, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I really hope he doesn't go into this Spirit Vessel. I know it's important against the Morphling, but you have just been gimped so much in your net worth, you need the Midas to be able to catch up off the back of this.
Maybe this kill could help him catch up. Looks like they're going to wait for the
wrong
rune.
target.
Off the mark of the roll, though. Rune's top, butterfly effect. This is already blinked, though, so he's probably not going to be able to get the rune. Still, with 4 points dagger, it's going to be a lot of damage onto the Earth Spirit. They are lacking detection. They might just turn to Desire instead.
I mean, man's level 6. Like, he is not having a bad game on the Crystal Maiden. But probably the last person that you want to be like, I'm doing well, guys. You know, you really need people to be able to play around with.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, meanwhile, they've just completely left the Morphling free farming top. So with all the pressure they've been putting on mid and bottom, it means that you have to start to rotate to try and enable them. And with the mana gone, they might be able to get it, but butterfly effect, he's got Haru to TP in to protect him. Ponyo's even nearby as well. So with the blast and the damage, it is another kill, dude. Haru's going to be so rich, and this is a pretty good Shadow Demon game as well. He's going to get a lot of value off the back of the early levels and early items he can find.
They're going for another smoke here down towards the bottom side, trying to... I mean, they'll be happy enough with this, in my opinion. You got to just get an easier kill, and I feel like the fact that they've gone on to the... he cancelled it. Are you not going to get a kill now because of this?
They will. They might even get both now with the Earth Spirit tipping. It is only level 4. The kick will be on the mark. Now they've got the urn as well for bonus damage, and this is what they needed. Little bit to go their way, some easy kill under the supports, like you said. Get those urn charges. See if they can get the ball rolling now for them.
Yeah, I mean, they were going on to the Quap, who still hasn't died, who's got 1200 HP versus the 950 on the Shadow Demon, and she had a raindrops for all of those previous attempts. So it's like, you're not killing this guy with all of this magic damage that you're trying to pump in onto him. As, what's going on with those stacks? I think Batrider was able to take the majority of it.
Yeah, I believe the Morphling just got 1, if my reading of colors was correct.
Well,
No, you know more than anything about that.
Yeah.
Yes. So you with even though the kill attempts mid lane have not been going Radiant's way, they have done a pretty good job to make some space for God King. He's just been 1v1ing TZY, who is free farming, but got to keep in mind God King was under a lot of pressure early on, so he's still going to have a decent Radiance timing.
It's a
And
nice
the boys
smoke
are reading
rotation.
this as well. It's a great smoke rotation. Down to bottom they go. A pep in their step. They want to fight back, and they'll be able to do so with ease. Cicada has the Tornado, gets rid of the Frost Shield, stops the retreat of the Lich, and they can turn to Ponyo next as well. But they're going to be cautious. So
Even Morphling's
going
coming.
to TP down. Even Butterfly Effect is starting to rotate as well. So the retreat, it needs to be quick and fast. Otherwise, it's soon to be a disaster for them, and with the roll, it'll stop the Invoker from getting any further distance away. Sonic Wave committed, no escape under the cover of the Invis.
They just overstayed their welcome a little bit, diving super deep for supports. I think as soon as you see that Morphling TP in, you're like, all right, kind of done our job, you know, either commits down here and stops farming and Batrider gets the ability to push in a tier 1 tower top, or he cancels it, and then maybe you could look to make a, you know, cancel it and just make another play after the fact, because you know then that the Morphling will still have that TP on cooldown for about 70 or so seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They still end up losing that tower too. So really nowhere for God King to be playing uber safely. He's finished up his Radiance, so picks up his farming speed a little bit, but I mean, look at Hara. He's even just yoinking away a few of these small camps. Why not? Just prevent the Alchemist from being able to farm in the camps that he really wants to be. He's body blocking it. Oh, cheeky, cheeky. And when we talk about camps being built up, TZY, he is loving life right now. He's got a gigantic ancient stack. He's got 2 more to be able to take. I think Shadow Demon stacked some of them, and Lich actually stacked the others. So Ponyo, he's going to have his experience recovered somewhat as well. You know, maybe having the Chain Frost would have made that previous engagement down on the bottom side of the map work out even better for him.
What do we make of the Vanguard pipe that TZY is going for?
I mean, pipe makes a lot of sense against this specific lineup, but I mean, Vanguard was just to enable him to really dominate that lane. So I'm totally fine with it across the board. This feels like a draft where you could just go full-on auras. You know, you're playing around this Morphling being that unstoppable hero once it gets into the later stages. And we got to say that Ukyo feels like he's been basically uncontested up on that top side of the map. That's a result of all of the attention that iG.Vitality have kind of drawn to the bottom side.
Even going to help him even further. He'll take the stack, it looks like.
Crimson Guard feels pretty good against an Alchemist too.
That it does, but we do have to keep in mind there is a way to purge a lot of things with Cicada having Tornado. And I would not be surprised if we see a Nullifier like 4th item. 4th, 5th for the Alchemist, but of course that is down the line. So you're going to get value out of it now. But we do have to, early game, we have to keep eyes on how this Tornado is going to come into play for Cicada.
Yeah, they're really committing on this mid lane.
Pretty far forward. He's going to be relying on Hara to try and disrupt, but the Flame Break pushes him further away from the Shadow Demon, which means there is no banishment at all to protect the Beastmaster. And now Ponyo is going to be chased down as well. Hara is still waiting for that opportunity. We'll get the banishment now, reveals his position. He's not going to get caught out. Still, it's going to be a death for Ponyo. Only delays it for a couple of seconds.
I mean, man was just a little bit too deep there for TZY. I understand that he got Flame Breaked back, but you know, maybe rely on the Siege Creep to do a lot more of the damage onto the tower next time. You know, especially when you don't really have a lot of information about the rest of the team. And it seems like Butterfly Effect, he's had a great start to this game. You know, very, very healthy amount of net worth, but he is just full on the I want to get my Aghanim Scepter train, just so that when you do reach a lot of these aura timings, you're going to be able to, you know, connect together with the rest of the team and really be this unstoppable force, because they are lacking in those auras on the big brain side. They've got a Hawk there. They know that the vision is available and they're going to eventually be able to get rid of it. Ooh. Look at all those sentries we're able to deal with.
Do they want to defend it? This is BKB getting delivered. This is definitely defendable. They will choose otherwise.
Might just be waiting for an overcommit before Alchemist makes that rotation. It's not until he gets the Blink Dagger. You are still very immobile. You know, we talked about the issues with playing up against a Shadow Demon, right? You can't just slowly walk in. You're just going to be completely controlled on that front. So once he gets the Blink Dagger, for sure, Alchemist, I'm expecting to see a lot more presence from God King, or just wait for them to come to you, like is what's kind of happening right now.
They saw the Radiance tick on Ukyo, so they're going to be able to play accordingly, looking to retreat back to the high ground. Concoction ready to turn from Ukyo, just blows up the Earth Spirit. Cicada finds a pretty good combo, instant use of the banishment, protecting against the lasso. This is all iG.Vitality's fight now. Maybe God King can turn it around. That's a beautiful concoction, God King. What a use of his stun. Without that, that could have been a disastrous fight. Butterfly Effect was still ready to pump out multiple spells, but first fight we see out of God King, and he comes in huge.
And even just like the Bat Rider existing with the Firefly on, right? He does the most damage in that entire fight just by holding them into that location. And you see how important it is for them to be able to burst down this Beastmaster at the start of a lot of these engagements. I like the fact that they are continuing to, you know, make a few rotations, get on top of this Alchemist before he continues to get out of control. But by doing it... Oh.
He has blink already. Sorry. So keep going, sorry.
Before you get into like this Crimson Guard, I feel like the team fight might have been entirely different if you have Crimson Guard available. You know, you're not getting burst out at the very start of the engagement. This is a big kill though.
That is a huge kill onto CSJ. All the boys. Is that Roche?
Maybe. They're all up here. They'll see them even just the mild stuff like walking slightly further towards the Roche pit. They got a minute to be able to do it. So it really feels like Big Brain, without the Bat Rider, feel like, all right, it's just trading time. Let's take this bottom tier 1 tower. Mid tier 1 tower still hasn't taken any damage at all. Actually, they're going to respond to this. They see the Alk TPing, but this is going to be too slow.
It's too slow. Yeah, I was going to say maybe hit on tier 2.
Can Earth Spirit get the roll of his life? Doesn't have any item slots freed up. Yeah.
Sunstrike will scout them out. Nice banishment, but it means they can't use it defensively. God King, can they get in the pit fast enough? Ages snatched up from Ukyo. Raw's going to be able to give them some moments of peace to be able to retreat accordingly. They need to reevaluate how they can take the fight on iG.Vitality. They'll back off the outpost. Sonic Wave used defensively as well. All it is just buying space to retreat away, but they're on the hunt. Big Brain, they don't want to give them the opportunity. Chemical Rage is about to expire though. Maybe that's the time to jump in, but not when you've already lost 3 members.
Did you see that freaking beeline for TCY there? They're just like, Beastmaster must die. We cannot give them the potential to, you know, rack up a lot of this slows, to be able to rack up the Wild Axe's damage, to just have these auras existing. He still does not have that Crimson Guard. Like, he needs to get into this item. At least the Queen of Pain has been able to get her Aghanim Scepter available now, so her damage is really going to start to scale up a lot more. You've also got the Morphling getting close towards the Manta style, so that's going to be incredibly important to be able to dodge out things like the Frostbite, to be able to dodge out the slows coming through from the Bat Rider, from the Earth Spirit as well. Silence is coming through there. So some big timings coming through. I just think... I guess they couldn't have really done anything different though, right? Like, it was a really good banishment to be able to start things off. It was a really good Hawk. They made that instant decision to go for the Roshan, and they still get Roche at the end of the day, but I mean, maybe they're just not doing enough to be able to protect this Beastmaster. TZY, he needs to be valuing his own life a lot more, because after an amazing laning stage where he was top of the net worth of anyone, he's died 5 times.
I don't know how you can play differently, because I mean you've got these. I mean you've got Crimson Pipe now. We spoke about they can be purged, but
I think he needs BKB. I know.
Okay.
You're a universal. I think you just need to live in a lot of these engagements. That is, it's that vital, because you know it means another couple of Wild Axes. It means the inner beast aura is going to stay up. It means the passive magic resist from the pipe is going to stay up. Just things like that.
I think that is a very good call. I don't think you can do it with Crimson Pipe. I think there's an itemization issue for the beast. If you go Crimson Pipe BKB, something looks very weird with your items. So I agree that I think this is a very good BKB game, but I think you...
I think normally yes. Like it is a very weird item progression, but just the amount of focus that they're putting onto this Beastmaster is just insane. So I think he needs to really be valuing his own life a lot more. Like, at the very least, I want to see him buy the Ogre Axe right now, just because it's going to provide him that HP, it's going to provide him some of that universal damage scaling, and it gives you the potential to be able to flex away from this Drums of Slom into the BKB. Maybe he's just going to be valuing Hara and some of his, you know, spell casting and positioning. Maybe they're going to take the Tormentor and wish for a Demonic Cleanse to come through and just pump that onto the beast.
Yeah, because you've got that, you've got the Frost Shield, you've got 4 staffs as well, so let us see if they're going to be enough. Because, I mean, you can't really deal with Ukyo now, with ages to work with for another minute 40. So it looks like they're just going to try and farm across the map. Multiple people are still sticking around bottom though for Big Brain, so it's not like they're getting too much out of it. Desire's going to shove up mid. CSJ's farming on the top side of the jungle. God King as well is about to have an AC completed. So still with the past couple of fights going Big Brain's way, we have to keep in mind this is only a 3,000 net worth lead with an Alchemist lineup, and this is not an Invoker who's going to scale. Yes, you've gone Midas, and I do actually think Sakata's had a pretty good game, all things considering with the lane, but he's still pretty far behind in regards to the net worth. Like, you need 2 more fights to go well for us to start to be like, okay, he could be a real big late game threat. as bottom, Ukyo. This is pretty deep though. Yes, you've got Aegis, but they're going to be able to get the jump onto the Shadow Demon. That's a great target. Back into the concoction, onto 2 as well. They'll deal with the first life. The boys are here, but what can they do to protect him on round 2 as God King activates the BKB and looks to turn? The Royals going to buy them some time. Ukyo can reposition accordingly. God King still gets the concoction out the last second, beating on to TZY. That's the person we wanted not to die inside these fights. And well, that will not be the case. Big Brain knew they saw they just left and they're like, that's perfectly fine. You get the tier 2 tower, we'll be able to farm across the map, but as soon as you step up to our tier 3, that is past the boundary and we will penalize you for that.
What a reposition into that double concoction stun as well, right? Like, that is the thing. And, you know, most of the time I'm thinking, you know what, Beastmaster might be okay. I think Hara actually put the Demonic Purge in onto the... is there a Lincoln's popped? I swear someone has a Lincoln's. Because I saw the Lincoln's effect come through. I mean, Morphling got it, but I don't think the Demonic Purge really got too much value out of him there. So... I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird, and they feel like they could just commit fully on towards that Beastmaster as soon as the Shadow Demon's dead, right? Because then you don't have those defensive tools. You don't have the Force Staff. You don't have the Disruption to be able to save him when you go for that full-on jump.
It feels weird, right? Like, Dai should have the vision at TZY? Okay. Dai should have the vision advantage with the Beastmaster, but it's just multiple times like these... Shadow Demon and Beastmaster, the vital heroes. You kill them to start the fight, it's going to look very good a vast majority of the time for Big Brain. And that's surprising, because usually you should be able to set a formation up accordingly thanks to your Hawk vision.
They're trying to defend this?
Chemical Rage about to be down.
I mean,
what's it called? Because even TPing back as well.
Yeah, finally.
And they retreat. God King still, of course, got the BKB. Space, that's all it is. Help the retreat. Butterfly effect continuing to spam the spells though. Around to the dagger, but they are out. So T2 tower for free. They're gonna look at the read. This is a pretty good read. Instant smoke sweep across the map. Expecting God King to be farming towards a triangle after this wave. They've got a great cliff ward. They might run into the Earth Spirit though.
They don't want him. They want someone else. They might be forced to take him though. Like, someone had to reveal in that mid lane. It would have been a huge wave pushing into the tower. Even popping the magnetize for it. I mean, I guess you're going to be dead for 40 seconds, but it means that you don't necessarily have a lot to be able to defend this tier 2 tower if you're wanting to push into this. And off the back of that, I believe Quap has the... no, someone else had a BKB that they were just about to finish. Nice.
Just got it delivered.
And level 18.
He's a big boy. You played a very solid game in regards to his farm, but we haven't felt the impact from him just yet. Potentially with this BKB now, might really see the Morphling start to be an issue inside some of the team fights.
About 1,000 gold away from that Drums of Slom on TZY. Again, like, it's all about the balance of who gets the farm, right? And I feel like at this point of the game, that's your most important hero to be able to get into that, just to get more Inner Beast attack speed off the back of the level 15 talent, to get into the Drums of Slom, just because it amps up your survivability so much. You know, just the lifesteal that you get off the back of being able to land it. And you're getting enough levels now that you instantly get up to 15 stacks as soon as you use that Primal Roar. And as soon as you're level 18, instantly up to the full 20. So I really want to see them pump a little bit more importance into TZY's farm.
I don't know how Radiant's Observer is just out of that sentry range, but it is. Oh, get a T1 tower. They're going to smoke, I believe. May have just been out of that Dire Observer. Sweep to top, but they're further onto Radiant's territory than they're expecting currently. We do have some Wisdom Rooms about to be up. Looks like Radiant, they are not set up to take their own. Oh, they're going to TP back, so no, they won't get them. Okay.
I guess he didn't have the Watcher vision at that point in time, so not wanting to be... They know. They seem to know that they've got their vision.
King. They see God King. He's going to be able to activate the Chemical Rage and the Poison nearby.
Is it enough?
Blow him up. Ukyo straight onto the Alchemist. And the Sonic Wave damage is too much much for him to sustain. Finally, this is the fight that iG.Vitality have been waiting for ever so patiently to get firm control of this second game now. As they can chase down Cicada, there's going to be no escape for the Invoker. As the River will run red, triple kill for Butterfly Effect. What objective would they like, Towers or Roshan?
I mean, it's just really the Quap Ags come into the front, right? Dealing the same damage effectively as the Morphling, you know, Sonic Wave onto multiple. You're able to get 5 Shadow Strikes off. He's not quite level 20 yet, but even that damage is going to start to ramp up. Did get a little bit of a nerf off the back of that, but now Beastmaster really does feel enabled, right? Got the Drums of Slum available, got plenty of right-click damage off being a universal hero, approaching that level 18 as well. You just saw how quickly the Alchemist can melt even after popping that Chemical Rage.
And 550 pure damage will definitely do that. They got a lot of damage out even before he was able to activate the BKB. Butterfly Effect is trying to continue to put the pressure on, but the respawns are up. A BKB for 15 though on the Alchemist. Even bought the Ag Shard. Very interesting, wanting to commit for that instead of the Skadi, and they're just going to
Beastmaster got picked. It was a long TP.
Big pick. That's a big pick.
No Sunstrike for you.
Let's see if they're going to be able to.
That's just a freebie.
They should have seen his TP direction, right? Let's see if they read it. I guess Roche's going to go bottom now.
Should be. He's making up his mind. No, he says no. Don't make me go.
Bug him? I don't know how you do it, but I feel like Gaze would definitely be one of the potential ways.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a big advantage for Big Brain as well, right? Anytime that you're playing on the bottom side of the map, you've got that Radiant Outpost to be able to play around with. You know, I have a pretty good sense that he's going to be up. Chemical Raid's still about 15 seconds away, and they have no vision around the Twin Gate at this point in time, so hopefully they can look to start placing that one up. What's up?
This might take them too long to get there. They're smoking across the map, but we know the map
I feel like you pop Freezing Field for this.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You just got to get it. And you got to do it fast. Chemical Rage, they'll use that instead.
Maybe
it looks like they're just
enough.
giving it up. The Butterfly Effect is running for top, so they're in two minds right now. Ponyo and Haru are still running down, but they will not have the full team to be able to get it. And as a result, Age is now picked up. And that was Cheese as well, which is going to be given over to CSJ. They have TP'd the Alchemist top, though. And Hawk is about to scout them out, still bottom lane.
Can't stick down
CSJ is
here
looking for the opening. TZY. This is a really good fight for Daya. Haru's going to be able to protect him inside the bench, but again, they're taking the fight without their Alchemist. And this means iG.Vitality, they can clean up with ease, nothing they need to fear. It's a pretty goddamn good retreat, though. That is very good for them just to lose the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, puts himself on the front lines, uses the Freezing Field, saying, look at me, guys, it's a pseudo taunt coming through, forces out the Sinister Gaze onto him to be able to cancel it out. And yeah, really, really good selfless play coming through from Desiree. He's going into the BKB for himself as well, just to make sure that that interruption doesn't happen. You know, you're going to need to use the Primal Roar to stop it, and he is not the prime target. I'll never stop.
Couple of Lincolns, yes, I know, apparently you won't. Arcane would be lovely for Butterfly Effect.
I'd say Tormentor would be pretty lovely too. I mean, if you can get this over onto the Earth Spirit, then suddenly you've got another way to be able to save off that Geomagnetic Grip, being able to target allies. You know, you get roared, you just yoink them back closer towards your team. You might end up griefing your own team if there's a Chain Frost coming in onto the target, but you know what? It's worth it for the style.
Okay, so I was checking some of the patch notes. I thought this level 20 talent for Quap, the numbers looked a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 120 previously? Yeah.
Yep.
I did mention it before, just saying. What's this next little bit? It feels like, even though Big Brain have the Aegis and they have potentially the momentum to be able to come back into this game, they just want to farm up one additional item. You know, you're close-ish to the Halberd, about, what, 1,500 gold away on the Earth Spirit. Pretty huge against both a Quap and a Morphling. They're still going to go for the play off the back of having that extra life to be able to play around. I really want to see them go for a backline jump.
Not
or
again.
Just TZY.
They didn't see him though. Aggressive roll forward. CSJ looking for the opening. They get a glimpse of TZY. Their prime target. It's going to be okay though, but the blink's on cooldown. They'll turn. Chemical Rage activated before the roll, so the damage is a lot. He's got ages though. Gorky doesn't care. Use everything on me. I still got a second life to work with, but over the right side though, they'll find an opportunity to try and deal with the supporting class. So TZY is isolated. God King and Co. can start to beat into the Beastmasters. A little bit more survivable than prior. Look at the kill, even a buyback as well. This is the fight they're hoping for to turn the status of this game. Need to get more out of it though on Big Brain. The Chemical Rage about to be over. Ukyo sees an opportunity to dive into the middle. The cheese going to be eaten. CSJ repairs the damage. And now they'll deal with the first life as well. Lasso used, but there's no follow-up. Off the back of the death, God King's still going to be able to jump in. But without his ultimate, there's just really not much that the Alchemist can do. You dealt with the Beastmaster, but Shadow Demon and Lich is still proving to be such a huge issue. All the defensive spells keeping Ukyo alive, and meanwhile Butterfly Effect is just freely spell casting. Nothing they can do to stop all the other heroes. Nice attempt with the Sunstrike, but they put a lot of emphasis on dealing with TZY, but it meant that everyone else was able to have a free fight.
12,000 damage from that Queen of Pain alone. You know, there's supports that sometimes would love to have that damage in an entire game, let alone a single team fight. 11 Shadow Strike usages out of him. I mean, it's got a 4-second cooldown at this rate, so yeah, I mean, I just feel like the target prioritization is completely off for Big Brain. You know, you've got these two heroes in the Morphling, in the Lich and the Shadow Demon that are just having amazing impact in these fights because, you know, Hara's just free to cast the disruption at every single opportunity. The Lich as well, you know, is getting multiple Pavis usages off, getting multiple Frost Shield usages off as well. It's kind of crazy that they're getting away with this. It's not like they lack heroes with the ability to go onto the backlines either, right? You've got a Blink Dagger Alchemist, you've got a Blink Dagger Batrider. It was basically only Earth Spirit that was making any sort of attempt to try and disrupt the supports, but they need the damage to actually kill them. Like a small rolling boulder stun is not enough. And hopefully with that ping coming through from Zakata, Shadow Demon is missing. That just means this is the target, boys. We need to make sure that we're taking him down. They see the Shadow Poisons coming through, and they should be able to pick him off. But, I mean, this is just a solo pick-off on the Shadow Demon. Won't really change too much of the status quo of this game.
No, because they still have to deal with mid and bottom. That is completely shoved in, so they're going to have to TP back regardless. With time, we need to start seeing some gems, especially for Radiant. And Butterfly Effect has got one on Dire. You just spoke about it. Feels like you have to kill too many people, though, on iG.Vitality. You've got to kill the Beast, but then you've got to kill Lich and Shadow Demon as well. Yeah. And that means you're not going to be targeting Ukyo or Butterfly Effect, and we've seen what can happen if they have a free fight. So you've got to have the gem to make sure you get the perfect way to initiate fights.
I feel like it's got to just be Shadow Demon that dies first, don't you? Like, it just stops everything that you've got, and I feel like he's well worth using a lasso onto to be able to start out a lot of these engagements. Because if he's gone, then everyone else is just so much squishier. Like, even if Frost Shield comes out, right, you could tornado it off.
Can they high ground? They have DD. Lotus given over as well. Aggressive waveform, they're all clumped up! Oh my lord! What is this damage? What the hell, where'd they go?
I mean, this is the butterfly effect that we know, right? Yeah, they just straight up call it. Come on, give me the fight recap.
My.
Oh, 4,000, 5,000 damage. Just they all clumped up way too much. Power of vision, man, it wins games.
Jesus, what?